Okay, Saskatchewan identity. So this is some of the stuff that I've realized since I moved here. I've been here since '09, so I've been here a little while. We have deep agricultural roots. I'm now a farmer, married to a farmer / doctor. He just became a doctor so he could farm, afford to farm. So Saskatchewan is the breadbasket of Canada. We have settlers' grit, resilience, hard work community. When you learn about how Saskatchewan and Alberta has been built, it's a pretty fascinating story of how resilient the people are. And it's still to our core who we are. We're mostly rural and small town lifestyle. We have wide open prairies and big sky, connection to season and natural rhythm, although I'm still not quite connected to the winters in Saskatchewan. When you see those sundogs, you know what it means. It's extremely cold, and I still haven't figured out how to be happy with that cold. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Use a QR code. No, I'm kidding. Okay, Indigenous and Métis influence. There's a strong presence of First Nations and Métis communities in Saskatchewan. There's a rich tradition in language, arts, and spirituality, historical treaties, and cultural revival. I will be talking a bit more about this later on in the presentation because it's one of the talking points that we're seeing come up a lot in counter to the narrative of sovereignty. Political culture, regional independence, and Western alienation. When I met my husband, I got introduced to this very, very deep seated root in him. He was 14 years old when he joined this independence group in Alberta. So he grew up on a farm in Alberta. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm sure he could tell it. Mix of prairie populism and conservatives, political innovators from Tommy Douglas, and I know that's not on the conservative side, but to modern movements like ours. Cultural expression, we're just gonna skip that, but a lot of people immigrated to Saskatchewan to escape persecution. They came here for freedom. So it's one of the core things that we have in this province. Faith and family values. The majority of Saskatchewan residents do say that they believe in God. The majority of Saskatchewan residents are Christians, not all of them, but a big percentage of them. Family-oriented communities and large household, how to write colonies, which I invited today, but I don't think they've been able to come because they're still seating. Work ethics and sports, it doesn't really go together, or maybe it does, but I was trying to skip to less slides. Strong blue-collar values, farming, trade, oil, work hard, play hard. This part I will never fully understand, the obsession for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I used to live in North Battleford, and there's a house, I kid you not, that's painted in Rough Rider colors in North Battleford. And I worked at Service Canada for a little bit, and they had a parade. I guess they won some tournament, and everyone in town was dressed in green. And this was like shortly after I just moved here. So I'm sure this is one of the questions and concern people have when we talk about sovereignty. What's going to happen to the Saskatchewan Roughriders? So we do want to include it in the conversation. Resource stewardship, economy driven by oil, gas, potash, uraniums, and more. Tradition of hunting, fishing, respecting the land, balance between development and conservation. So this goes with firearms rights. It goes with a lot of the reason we're not happy with some of the stuff that's happened in Ottawa.